Hello and welcome to a video for the6thAxis.com. I am Stefan and today we have the third and final multiplayer game mode from Battleborn to talk about. Not only that, but at this point 2K and Gearbox have finally revealed the last of their roster of characters, so we can talk about some of those as well. But first up, what is Battleborn? Well, it's a cooperative and competitive hero shooter, as Gearbox likes to call it, and it builds upon what they did with Borderlands, so that it has a huge roster of 25 characters for you to choose from, with several different and very contrasting races and styles of play in the mix there. There's too many to really cover in depth in this video, but I just wanted to give you a quick idea of some of the more recent additions to that roster. So there's El Dragon, for example, who is quite literally a luchador and will run around smashing into stuff. There's also Kelvin, who seems to be a kind of living ice crystal, I guess. Cleese looks a little bit like Professor X, and he has a decent role within the story, I know from before. While Shane and Aurochs are one whole combined character, but it's made up of a moody-looking person and a big metallic kind of demon that follows them around. And then there's dear old Toby. Oh, I do love Toby. He's just a penguin in a mech suit. What more could you want from a character? Each of these characters has got their own very special and unique abilities, and these are augmented in-game as you're playing with the Helix upgrade system. You always start each match or each level at level 1, and then you progress very, very quickly as you get experience from killing stuff. As you're playing, you just find a nice safe spot for a few seconds, you press a button and up pops this Helix menu, which lets you pick from two sides of the character's potential upgrades. So you can have slightly different builds. It's a little bit like a MOBA in that regard, and that's also very true when you consider that you only get to your ultimate ability once you reach level 5. So there's all sorts of things going on here with ranged characters, melee characters, and bearing in mind that this is a first-person game, that's actually a bit counterintuitive, but it actually works really quite well with melee. And they all fall into these three rough archetypes. You've got tanks, you've got supports, and you've got healers. And within your team of 5, you want to have a nice mix between these. Now, as I said, I could talk about those characters for a very, very long time and give you tons of examples, but this video is meant to be more about the newly announced Incursion mode. Of the 3 modes in Battleborn, this is perhaps the most MOBA-like, but it's also really, really quite simplified from that formula. So instead of 3 lanes with towers defending the way to a base, there's effectively just 1 lane, and each side has got 2 sentinel robots, one in front of the other. The first one that you will encounter from the other team is a little bit weaker than the second one, and so chances are you're going to get to be able to do quite a bit of damage to that. But you can't do that on your own. A sentinel will absolutely destroy a player in just a few seconds if you get too close to them, so you need to be escorting some minions along, and as you're trying to get them to the sentinel, you are protecting them from the other side, who also have minions coming along, and they're trying to do the same as you are. But once you get to the sentinel, those minions are able to distract it and take down its shields, and that then means that you can deal damage and potentially destroy the sentinel if you're quick enough. There's also a little bit of the so-called jungle from MOBAs. There's this one main route, but alongside it there's little offshoots and other little paths, and within this you will find some more powerful adds and minions, and what you need to do is you need to defeat them first, and then spend a few shards so that you can basically hire them as mercenaries for your side and send them off to fight and cause a bit of a fuss for the other side to deal with. That then gives you the advantage in battle. You can then maybe kill 1 or 2 of the enemy players and you can get the advantage. You can get them sent back to base and have a few seconds on the sidelines. But what I find really quite interesting about this mode is the way that it focuses the battle on one particular spot. There's still plenty of opportunity for players to sneak around behind, pull a few tricks, get in a few sneaky attacks, but this is in contrast to Devastation and Meltdown. Devastation is their control point mode, so you've got 3 control points which you're battling over, and Meltdown has, it's got some MOBA bits in there, but it's got 2 paths of minions which you are trying to protect and feed into enemy machines, like on their side of the map. But both of those modes pull you in different directions. So you've got to split up, you've got to have 2 on one lane, or you've got to send one person to capture this one control point and the others are focused on the fight in the middle, stuff like that. But Incursion does things differently because you've got everyone in that one spot, you've got everyone focused on this point. And so I think that's really quite a nice change of pace, even if you've still got a lot of the same MOBA inspirations running throughout the game. Now that's all for this video, but if you are interested by Battleborn and want to see more about it, make sure to check out our written preview from Incursion, and there's also our impressions from time of the game, which we had back in October of last year. We will be returning with more about the game in the not too distant future, and the game's actually not that far away, it's out on May the 3rd. Aside from that, please do click like if you have enjoyed this video, or click subscribe if you'd like to see more of our videos and you'd like to be kept in the loop on when they are coming out. And as always, head over to the6thAxis.com for more gaming news, previews, reviews and stuff like that. With that, I hope to see you next time, and I will say goodbye.
Only one hostile remains. You should kill them too.